First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. So back-to-back plays here where he couldn't get anything on the ground. Now you face a 3rd and 10 and assume you're going to try to pass it, right?
I would think so, because you've tried to run the ball, and really it doesn't matter who got the ball in the play because there was no space to go. So I think you step back, throw the ball to try and pick up the first down.
From midfield, here's Keenum. And break, the tight end's got it. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was looking for Matthews that time. That'll bring up second down. And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
And Richard Sherman's a 4-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and he's back after an Achilles injury in 2017. Never was known for his speed, but always was known for his smarts and his guile, and very rarely takes a false step when covering a receiver.
Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On second down, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. E.J. Gaines the one that time to knock it away.
A good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He can run for it, and he will. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Now McKinnon. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Wide open receiver, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, he can't hang on. There was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick, but instead it falls down incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Wilson. Throwing again. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Underneath, this is Bernard. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that hollow metal sound is the bane of any kicker's existence, and here, that sound is going to keep our game scoreless.
And you can see him give that body English as the ball was in the air. Come on, baby, come on. But no dice that time.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now Hunt. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Working from the gun. Keenum. Complete. He finds Brady. 20. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big 3rd down play there for the Bengals. 56 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Keenum going to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. 3rd down here.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. Throw left side, complete. It's Griffin. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. for the score. And the Bengals are in for 6.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
Yes, sir.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Philip Dorsett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And our focus now moves on to Larry Fitzgerald. And you look at the numbers, not only has he not caught a pass, they haven't targeted him yet. And we're coming up toward halftime.
And you remember our meeting with the coach beforehand? What did he tell us about him? I write his number on my play sheet, and I circle it in bold type because I want to make sure he gets the ball and often.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Keenum. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
On 1st and 10, Keenum. They'll leave it for Hunt, complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Keenum. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Anderson. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Now to try the field goal, here's Daniel Carlson. From the right hash, this from 53. The kick by Carlson is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. On first down, Wilson. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. There's Wilson to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
On third down, Wilson. And incomplete here on third down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now it's Hunt, and he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. Well, I know we hold off on the halftime update after all. Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Open man right side is Ingram. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of 6 there on first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Wilson will throw again. His throw caught right around the 6. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Xavier Grimble, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum. Over the middle, complete. It's Fitzgerald. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now the Bengals defense readies as they head onto the field. They've had a couple passing touchdowns against them in this game, and that last drive they really got picked apart.
They've got to figure out how to tighten things up, because no matter what they've done, whatever adjustments they've made, offense has been a step ahead of them. So they've got to figure it out. Usually, a sack of the quarterback can help change the momentum.
Maybe bring some pressure.
I think maybe a little bit of pressure would help them greatly. Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taking.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Bengals have recovered it.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run again with Hunt. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there and a Bengal first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They'll pick up another first down with that run.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got some space here. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Keenum now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Fitzgerald. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. Give him 30 yards there.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
From the red zone now, Keenum. And his throw is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the run, this is Hunt. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He hit his first, this one from 38. To the football, it's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky, but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
Open man right side is Sharp. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. on second down. Here's Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. To throw is Wilson. That one complete. He finds Sharp. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage. But you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
Back to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
And Brave, the tight end's got it. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Back to throw. And Boyd has it over the middle. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week in practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And they'll run it here. And he stopped immediately there. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They run once more with McKinnon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
.46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And now the spike comes with 15 seconds on the clock. And that one is incomplete. It stops the clock now with 15 seconds remaining. He's back to throw. Now bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Down to 3 seconds. 2 seconds.
If the squad ain't with me, then it ain't right.